Hi, alright folks, welcome back to Glesga News. Okay, I'm on the record. It's January the 24th of 2020. Nearly say 2019 now. This is a story by Sarah Ward and Jack Aitchison. So let's have a wee look at the headline. It says, feral kids running riot in Glasgow neighbourhood and turning it into the Bronx. Well, feral kids, that suggests that there's kids out there that are running, that are going wild. You know, like feral is wild. You know, you got a feral cat, a wild kid. Then wild would mean that their parents are doing nothing about it. They're being allowed to run about the estate. Because this estate's called Priesthill. And the Daily Record cared that much about it. They put a picture from Google Street View as the picture of the estate. Didn't go out and speak to anybody. Right? So, I'm going to just sort of try and surmise the story for you, just sort of, you know, because it's kind of predictable. But I'll just kind of try and, rather than go through all that, give you the short version of it. And the short version of it is these kids have got nothing to do with themselves. They range from 9 to 16. They're not getting anything to do with their time. There's probably nothing in the area for them to do, which should be dealt with. But anyway, regardless, they've took it upon themselves to start annoying the neighbourhood. Now, I think it started out throwing eggs, but they weren't getting anywhere with that. And so one of them must have went like that. Right, well, watch this. Some wee smart arse must have went like, watch this, and they threw a stone and it smashed somebody's window and they ran away. And there was a lot of activity after that. And they liked that, didn't they? You know, you chip a door when you were young and you'd run away. Well, these idiots have went beyond that. They're throwing stones through people's windows, breaking people's windows when they're sitting in the living room watching the TV. Now, I know that there was a community meeting, and there's a church up there. It's called the 50 Pence Church. There was a community meeting, and there must have been about 100 people at it. And there were so many people that completely overwhelmed those that had arranged the meeting. And the people that had arranged the meeting was the local housing authority, and they had asked the local MP, the newly elected MP, Labour MP, and the police, as well as the housing associations, as I say, to attend. And it was pretty obvious from the start that it was absolute chaos up there. Chaos. There was dozens of people saying that their windows had been smashed repeatedly by this same group of kids. And so the police that was attending this there was one police officer there. And he basically laid it out for them. He said, look, to be really honest with you, and I'm paraphrasing him, but this is the gist of what he said, there's not much we can do about it. We've not got enough manpower. I mean, there could be a football match on or a march on. Manpower's drawn away. Can't be there. Can't do it. What we really need is for you to tell us who it is that done it. That's right. That's it. By the way, that's what he said. And people say, well, what? Say we managed to do that. People are saying, well, we have identified certain people. Oh, well, I've not heard about that. I mean, there was dozens upon dozens of people. He's making out that there's been no phone calls about it. Right? There's been people that, what actually has happened is people have went out and the kids are so cheeky. They'll stand off at a distance and throw stones at the people that are complaining. And they've actually hit people. So don't suggest, officer, that that's not been reported. But has it changed the tactics of the mob? No. Because what is their tactics? Well, they drive about, don't they? But when's the last time you saw a beat police except in the town centre? Few and far between, folks. They don't walk about. They drive about. So, what they doing? Driving about? Well, they're sitting talking to each other in the motor about, what did you do last night, Jean? I went to pictures with my boyfriend. Oh look, there's a guy there. What, who? He's only got one tail light. That's what they do. They chase motorists for tail lights. And they'll park up and they'll be asking the guy about his tail light. And some maniac will drive past them at 80 mile an hour with a big exhaust. And they'll be like, oh, for goodness sake, I can't hear myself think. They're real dumplings, by the way. So, the parents said, the people that were there said, well, okay, well, what's going to happen? Say we did identify him, what are you going to do about it? Well, what we'll do is what we'll do. We'll take a report from him and then we'll consider whether we're going to report them or not report them to the children's panel. Right? And then we'll go and speak to their parents and tell them how naughty they've been and ask them if they could change their behaviour. Right? Okay? That's it. But first of all, he said, you need to stand up and identify them. Point them out to us. They done it. Give their names. Billy so-and-so. Diane such and such. Then we can do something. So he's wanting the local community to find out who they are. This is kids that are running away with hoods on and all that. You know, as I say, at the police down here, it says, a spokesman for Scottish Police said, it would appear there is a small group of youth. That's right, it's a small group. So, what's hard about dealing with that? A concerted effort. It's in the papers now. Dozens and dozens of people were at that meeting. It says, a small group of youth, both boys and girls aged between 11 and 16, who are responsible for most of the antisocial behaviour issues in Priesthill. And we're working to identify those involved. But they're not working to identify, they've got no plan, there is no investigation. That's rubbish. There is no investigation. They're just sitting waiting for phone calls for people to identify who they are, and then they'll go and speak to their parents. It says here, and it's given away actually by the last sentence, we want to stamp this out, but need the support of the community to do this. Well, that's what I was saying. That's the way they stamp it out. They want the community to find out who it is, tell them, and then they'll do nothing about it. But the answer is actually in the community. Alright? So people need to stand up in the community and go out themselves. So there needs to be a few people go out themselves to deal with it. You need to find out who's doing it. And then go to their house and put their windies in. But don't run away. Don't run away. Wait for them to come running out. Stand on your ground and fight. And that's what it comes down to. Because then they'll know. The parents will know, if they're allowing it, that they're going to get it. And they'll be identified, and then they'll get pushed out the area. Maybe they're daft kids. That's how you stop it. I remember there was a similar scenario. This kind of did get a wee bit kind of out there, you know, but there was a similar scenario in maybe one of the viewers can tell me about, and I might not be getting it right, but there was a similar scenario in an estate in Paisley, Foxbar or Fergusley or something like that, and kids were doing similar type things, and they happened to put a stone through the Rangwan's window. And that particular family identified the individual responsible, or the gang leader or whatever. They captured him, poured petrol at him, and set him on fire. Now, when that Wayne's father found him, do you know what he said to the papers? He wouldn't treat a dog like that. That was what he said. Now that attitude, that language, That way of expressing yourself tells you, probably, that he didn't give a monkey's what his boy was doing, and probably was aware, and possibly complicit in it. Didn't care, because his attitude was, I wouldn't treat a dog like that. You wouldn't treat a dog like that. That was it. It wasn't the horror of what happened to his son. His innocent child had been, it wasn't any of that. He was acknowledging by his language and his attitude that his boy was complicit, and so was he, most likely, in whatever his son was doing. Now that is, probably is, not just probably, is extreme. But that's what people get driven to. That's what happens when the police do nothing. If this was Russia, Syria, Libya, somebody would chop them up. That's a fact. But because people are kind of law abiding, they're not doing it. So what's required is adults to get together, find them, identify them, and do the same to them. Don't just go and talk to their parents. Do the same to them. They put your windies in, put their parents' windies in. That's it. That's what I'll do. No doubt about it. Anyway folks, that's enough about that. If you like the content, hit the like button, share and subscribe. Peace out.